You're listening to a Rock Candy podcast.
Hi, my name is Stephen Long, and I host a show here on Rock Candy called Sacred Tension. It's about the spiritual discipline of asking questions. If you find yourself uncomfortable in your faith, or if you find yourself caught between modern science and ancient religion, or if you're curious about the journeys of others who are sorting out faith and doubt, Sacred Tension is a place where nothing is off limits. You will find conversations with pastors, cult experts, spiritual leaders, and skeptics, all discussing the ways we navigate the faiths we were given. Find Sacred Tension right here on Rock Candy and wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hey everybody, this is Reese Roper, one of the hosts of Joe and Reese's Pickle and Boot Shop. This is my weekly disclaimer for this podcast. I need to warn you and your children. First of all, we talk about Paul Smenis more, which we never should do again, but we keep doing it. Joe refuses Steve Taylor's advice. I swear a lot. We talk crap about the Newsboys, and I don't know what else to say. It doesn't go anywhere from here. It's just sardonically irreverent. Number 13 comedy podcast in all of Finland. The Pickle and Boot Shop.
Joe and Reese's Pickle and Boot Shop. Get yourself a pickle. Get yourself a boot. Joe and Reese's Pickle and Boot Shop. Pickle time is happening. Pickle time. I go down to get some pickles.
With your grandma and your kids.
I go downtown.
With your grandma and your kids.
Boot time. Pickle and boot time. Don't be fickle, get your pickle cider, pop a nickel in your boots. Not a place of ill repute. Bring your grandma and your kids. Come for the pickles, stay for the squids.
Pickle and boot shop.
Stay for the squids. Boots.
Pickle time.
Put that pickle in your pants. Get some boots inside your hands. Put that pickle in your pants. Get some boots inside your hands.
1996, we start this. Do it. Go ahead and start it that way.
Good afternoon, Pickle Peeps. I am your host, Res Roper.
Paul Smedes.
Paul Smenis.
Hello, ladies. I'm Paul Smedes.
No, I didn't like that.
I feel like you would get chicks with that line.
No. I could teach you some secrets later. I could teach you some more secrets.
All right.
But you had asked me what did I do? You know me. I always do these big setup stories to then answer with little fanfare. But you'd asked me like what I did during recording. So I would record from like 10 or 11 at night to like 2 in the morning. So during the day, whatever city we were like staying in, I was just enjoying things in that city. So
So were you just doing like during the day you do that? You'd wake up at like 10, go do things in the city. Say you woke up at noon. You go do
Yeah.
things in the city, and then you record from like 10 or 11 at night to 2 or 3 in the morning.
yeah, go home and sleep.
Was that like a normal schedule for the dudes you were recording with?
Yeah. And then like those guys would be at the studio, and Nate was pretty much at the studio every day. And anyone who was like doing their part, like Nate was there the whole time.
So Nate is like acting as like a band dad / producer.
Correct. He probably should have like points and stuff off albums. But like I didn't, because I wasn't going to tell, I'm not a musician, so I'm not going to tell a musician what to do, because that ain't my job. So I would let them figure everything out. And then by the time it was time for me to record, so again, I only recorded from 10 o'clock at night to like 2 in the morning. But those were on the days where I would record.
Yeah.
So prior to that, when they're laying down drums, they're laying down bass, they're laying down guitar, there might be, like, I forget if we would do it song by song. That's one thing I can't remember. I can't remember if we would track everything or if we did it song by song. I think we did it song by song. And then
You tracked everything song by song, or you would
that
track...
doesn't sound right,
Would
does
you
it?
track like all the drums at once?
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds more right. Like you'd go through if there
mean,
was
some bands
12
do it that
songs on
way.
the album.
Yeah.
I think we would go through and like we would track all 12 drums. Then
Yeah,
we would
you
track.
knock out all
Yeah.
your scratch tracks, and then your drummer would go in, do all
Yeah,
the songs.
yeah. I don't
on
think we
bass.
did it song by song.
Okay.
And so yeah, so like when we were recording in Chicago, like I would go to like Cubs games. Like I remember the one year we did it was the big home run race between like Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa.
Jeez.
So, and that was also the year that, what was that one guy's name? He was like a flash in the pan for was it Carey Price? He was like a pitcher for the Cubs, like a rookie who just struck everyone out. And he had like a fantastic like rookie season. And then like he got hurt and then he was like never anything after that. Kerry Woods.
Okay.
Kerry Woods. And so it was that summer and of the home run race. So I was going to games watching like Sosa. Like one game, I think you could probably look this up on like some sports stats thing, but I think I saw the Cubs versus the Philadelphia Phillies. And at that game, like Sosa hit, I think at one game he hit, because the cool thing about Cubs games is they're all matinee games, like they're all day games. And so you just go, you know,
They don't have night games?
no, like the Cubs, if they play night games, they play those away. But any Cubs game is a day game.
Weird.
Yeah, so if they're home at Wrigley Field, they didn't have lights for the longest time, for like 100 years or something like that. Like they didn't have lights.
So why start now?
Yeah, I think they did it for like money and TV. So like if they get the prime time spot for like an ESPN game or a World Series
They'll
game,
do it.
they can have lights and stuff. But yeah, for the longest time they didn't.
Dog is eating the branch that fell.
I know, he's just bored. He's showing it who's boss. Yeah, so I think it was against the Phillies. I saw Kerry Woods strike out like 15 batters or something like that. It was crazy. And I think Sammy Sosa hit like his 15th or 16th home run. And then I went the next day. And what's funny is I would go down there and I would look for scalpers. And so the day that like Kerry Wood was pitching, like everybody wanted to be there. Like he was this huge sensation, like in Chicago. And the guy's like, tickets. And what they would do in Chicago, I've never seen this anywhere else, but they would do it in Chicago because scalping was illegal. So what they would do is they would yell out that they have pens for sale. And you would buy a pen, and then you would get the ticket for free.
That's genius.
So all these guys are like, pens, who needs a pen? And like the first time I went down there, I'm like, what is he talking about, like a pen? And the guy's like, you need tickets? And I'm like, yeah, I need one. He's like, well, I got a pen. And I was like, what? Like, I don't.
Who's on the pen?
Yeah, I was like,
How much?
I don't get this. And so finally, like it like clicks or someone tells me or something. So I'm trying to negotiate with this guy. I'm like, how much? He's like, $80. I was like, $80 for the ticket? I was like, forget that, dude. He's like, Kerry Wood's pitching. And I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, I don't think this guy knows baseball. He just knows to say Kerry Wood is pitching. And so he's like, $80. I go, for one ticket? And he go, and so I end up, I'm like, dude, it's in the third inning. Like the game is a third of the way done. And so he's like, fine, what will you give me? I go, how about $20? Like, $20. The game's a third done. Kerry Wood is going to be, they're going to pull him in 2 innings anyway.
Yeah.
So the guy's like, fine, give me $20. So I give him $20. I take my ticket and I go into the game. I'm sitting like the second row in the upper deck behind home plate. Phenomenal seat. And I sit down, and the guy who I'm talking to, he goes, oh, you bought that, because he had sold the scalper his extra seat. So he's like, oh, how much you get it for? I go, $20. He's like, oh my gosh. He's like, I only sold it to the guy for 15. So he only made $5 off your ticket. He goes, what'd you tell him? I go, I told him it was the third inning. The game hadn't even started. This guy just had no clue. Like he didn't have a clue. He did whatever. The game hadn't even started.
Holy
They were
crap.
like still doing like the national
Hey,
anthem.
he made $5.
He made $5. And so, Yeah, and then
That was probably minimum wage back then.
yeah. So it was pretty cool. But like that's what I did in every city. Like in Huntington Beach, like I would just go to the beach every day, like the green room. I would go to the beach when we recorded that K2S song. We were staying at that beach house next to Rodman. I mean, we just lived on the beach, so I would just wake up every day and like just be at the beach, or I would be like at the apartment pool or at a Cubs game, just kind of wherever I was just kind of doing what was there to be done. Like I couldn't just. I think on Motor City Ska, I did that because I was like, that's what bands do. We go in and re-record, and it's that hurry up and wait stuff. And I was like, I can't do this, and especially in California, like. The California mindset is not the Midwest. The Midwest is you pack a lunch, you go to work, you put in a hard day's work, and you come home.
Yeah.
And when someone says, hey, you want to come over at 6, you're there at 10 to 6, or something like that.
It's a little bit more laid back in California.
Cali's a little more laid back. So it's like, hey, we're going to be at the studio at 10. We're going to start recording at 10. Man, you wouldn't. So you'd get there and you'd sit around. Nobody would even like be there. Like no one's ready to go till 2 in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon, and you would sit around all morning. I'm not that type of person.
Wasting.
Yeah. So I was just like, you know what? Forget this. I'm not doing this. I learned my lesson with like Motor City Ska. I'm like, A, I can't tell musicians what to play.
Yeah.
And B, I'm not just going to sit here bored out of my mind all day and like let life pass me by. So I would like go to malls, like walk around malls, go to like the Vans,
Man, I'm
like
so
skate
jealous.
park, all that stuff, and just kind of
Yeah.
hang out and just do whatever to like, whatever was free.
Yeah, 'cause
to
you
like
didn't have
waste
any
the
money
time.
to
Yeah,
blow.
yeah.
We had, so this is me. I haven't even started talking about our last 2 albums because those were recorded totally different. But like with all the Saki stuff, our first album we had all the material for, and I think we may have recorded an extra song that I don't know where it is. It might have been on the second album, but like we had a song where we got to the point where we were trucking horns and we were like, this isn't going to be on the album. Let's just not. So it's somewhere still. Saki probably has the music to it, but there's no vocals, no horns. But the first album, we had been playing that stuff. We were ready to put it down. So it was easy. It took us 8 days, and we did the same thing. We go in, we had recorded to a click track before, but it was still weird for us. So like cut all the, like you're trying to figure out, this is way too slow on the last time we recorded it, like for our 7-inch. Mm-hmm. So we're going to speed it up 5. And, Saki always acted as a producer, but he was never very heavy-handed. He would just be like, I think this part could be better. Let's work on this. And he's got perfect pitch, so he would just know immediately, like, hey, dude, go tune. Or, or you're flat. Sing it this note. Like, try and sing louder.
Yeah.
But he wasn't very heavy-handed. We kind of just, he let us do our thing.
Did you want that?
I
Or did you like his style?
No, I mean, like, I like Saki for himself. Like, it was cool just hanging out with Saki. He was good at, like, it was just comfortable. But I did want somebody to push me. I wanted somebody to be like, I know you can sing that harder, or I
Gotcha.
know you can do this, but Saki wasn't a vocalist. So he would just be like, that note is good. Your timing's fine. I can fix it in Pro Tools or whatever. Let's move on. So by that time we did our second album, he had the first edition of Pro Tools. And you can hear it because it would just, there was no like, I'm going to humanize this, or not Pro Tools, Auto-Tune. But like, so in Auto-Tune now, it's come a long way. You can just adjust. You'd be like, this note is one off. You move it one up, like 1/2 step up, and it sounds fine. Or like you can get crazy with it, and you're like, I want it to sound like I have a normal person-sized throat on this, so I don't sound like a Muppet. You can add that in. You can do all this stuff. But the first version, it would just grab notes and pull them. So there was no like you sing and you're like, ah, like you're in between notes. It would just go, ah, like just pull it straight to that second note. And you'd be like, I don't remember singing it like that. But, so when we recorded, we can do a whole episode on tricks and stuff and using auto-tune and how that progressed, like the technology progressed while we were recording. But like for me, after the first album, we were not ready to be in the studio. The songs weren't done, but the other guys in the band did not give a shit about vocals or lyrics. They would just be like, we have to have a singer, I guess. And people seem to like this guy. So, like Scott would come up with some songs. He would be like, I want this to be the melody. And it was like a newer role for him, because literally, like when I met Scott, he had been playing guitar a couple months, like maybe 8 months. He was humble about it, like he was just like, hey, I'm just learning guitar, but I want to be in a band. Can I be in your band? And he was incredible. Like he's somewhere on the autism spectrum. He's really gifted, like very smart about it. And he hears things crazy. Like I've seen Scott just sitting and you're like, he's singing about something and he like watch his jaw. He's making like he's thinking out the guitar parts and making drum sounds with his mouth, and then he'll just be like, play this, and he'll have figured out somebody's part for a song or how to rewrite a chorus or something. So he's there. We've all accepted this about him now, that we're like, yeah, Scott's a genius. But like our first couple albums, we were just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, stop telling me how to do this. Like I'm singing. Let me figure this out. I gotta, like, and he would, and I think for a while he was still in that camp. He just recently has come around to where he's like, oh yeah, people like our lyrics. It's important. People like singing. And like, he's worked on his own singing and it's good, but it was just like, he's like Spock. He's just like, oh, this makes sense now. People want to hear singing on songs. So I think we should devote some time to this. But like our second album, we had been like workshopping and maybe written lyrics to about half of this stuff. And the other half, we showed up. Like the melody might have been rough or the lyrics might have been rough, but they're just like, we'll be in the studio for a month. The guy that we don't care what he's doing on this,
yeah,
he'll figure it out. And so that just started this kind of tradition in Five Iron. We'd get there, we'd do our scratch shit, and then I would be watching everybody for a month or 2 months record their part in a couple days and then just go have fun. Or a week, like maybe it would take like a week for the guitar players to lay down their stuff.
Yeah.
And this is what's crazy about Saki is he was just like a machine. Like if you have stereotypes about Asians being hard workers and dedicated, Saki like drove this straight home, because you like 9 or 10 in the morning, you would start. You might stop to eat. Like we would order food or go someplace for food. But go until midnight every day. And so if I was recording songs, it wouldn't be like one song a day. You'd be like, what can you get done in that time?
Correct, yeah.
So you would be for 12 hours or more just singing, 16 hours a day singing.
Yeah.
And he was not a singer. Like this was a weak point for Saki, is that he would not like know how to coach so well out of you. Like, you can do better. Here's a good way to get you to stop singing sharp, which was my problem. Like I'd always push too hard and it would end up being sharp. But he would be like, you're sharp. He never mean, like, just, okay, I think you can do better. Let's do it again. All right, try it this way. Try singing more gravelly or whatever. And we became comfortable, like where I would figure out like what his lingo was for sing this softer or sing this harder. And I recorded all 3 Brave Saint Saturn albums with him, the Roper album. So like 13 albums with Saki.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I would do it in a heartbeat right now just to hang out with him, like for a week or a month.
Yeah.
But all those 500 albums, every single person would just be like, we went to, because we're in San Francisco, so it's like, we went to Berkeley today and I got a henna tattoo, or we had this really good food, or, like
Fisherman's Wharf.
We rode the cable cars. We, we swam in the ocean. We went to Santa Cruz the whole time. And I'm like in some closet or some off room with a laptop or a notebook, just like, oh, this is not good enough. This is not good enough.
You seem
Hate
like
it.
that type of person to me. Like, you seem like you were the Nate. Nate wasn't even like you. I think you're more neurotic.
Yeah.
But like, you seem like that type of person that you had to be in there with hands on and knowing what was going on.
Scott also, for the first 2 albums, I don't know, he kind of had checked out by quantity by our 3rd album, which was an EP. But he was in there dictating everything. No, that's not how I wrote it. Try this, do this. And like, we didn't realize his genius at that point. We would just be like, dude,
Like, what a taskmaster.
back off. And to the point where for the first 2 albums, I just said, look, if you want me to sing good on this album, I can't see Scott in this window. If he's going to talk to you and tell you what to do, he has to be outside of the door and say things. So there would be times, especially on our newest album ever, where Saki would just go, hold on. And I'd see him look down at the ground and start talking. And I knew Scott had crawled in there to be like, tell him to sing it like this. And, like, we're trying to just work it out. And now, like, I love this about Scott. I admire him so much. And he could be in there and just be like, hey, dude, hey, fucker, sing better. And I would try, I admire. But then we're just like, what?
Yeah.
Leave me alone. Like, I am trying my best.
Yeah.
I don't want to see you because you're just making me stressed so bad. So it was funny because even then I would just be like, wow, at least he knows like not to mess with me. And then would kind of take the edge off of it. But yeah, it was kind of a punk move to just be like, I don't want to see you through this window, dude.
Yeah. And just like how I never told the musicians like what to do, they never told me what to do.
Okay.
So any like,
Did Nate ever do that?
no, like
Okay.
like producers would, and we've talked about this earlier. Like, producers would always want me to sing better, and I think they would be like, no, man, you're closing up your throat. Like, sing from your diaphragm. Do this, do that. Open up your throat. But like, it just didn't work, and I didn't feel that was me, and so. If anyone, again, I can't say that it never happened. And if somebody did tell me to sing something different, it would have been Nate. But I don't ever remember. I'm racking my brain right now. I don't ever remember thinking like, how dare that, other than a producer that I've already said that like I didn't like when they were like, but if it was the style that I was singing, but if Nate was like, hey, why don't you try like, instead of going up on that note, like stay on that note, see how that sounds. Like, Nate would do that stuff occasionally. Or he would sing something. He'd be like, Joe, what about you do this? And then he would like sing something. And then I would go, how about I continue to do what I'm doing? And then you do that as like a background. And so that's why, like with Insiders, if you listen to our albums, like there are certain songs that like Sang Kim sings. Our background vocals a lot of times are Nate. And at a show, Nate doesn't have a microphone because he's playing drums. So Nate usually isn't singing background vocals at a live show, but on the albums he does because everybody else is gone. And he's like, hey, why don't you do this? And I'm like, why don't you just do it? And so then he would just do it.
Yeah.
So a lot of the BGVs, the background vocals and stuff like that, are Nate just doing stuff because he was there and nobody else was. Now, when we recorded Sinner Songbook, we started using like social media and stuff, and I put out a thing like, hey, we're doing background vocals on this day. If anyone wants to come, like if any Insiders fans want to come on up to Detroit. This is the studio we're at. Be here by this time, and you can be on the album. And we had, if I remember right, we had like 12 people.
Oh, that's cool.
Like 12
man.
people. Like someone drove up from like Cincinnati.
That's so cool.
And like we got in the studio, and so like a lot of the background vocals and stuff like that are just fans that showed up on a certain day, and we were like, I'd get in the like we'd get them all in the studio in the room, and I'd be like, all right, you guys. You know, they'd play it, you know, they'd play the song, and I'd be like, we're going to do this. And then, like, I'm singing, like, the parts. So I'm like, let's go through it a few times. So it was almost like I was a choir teacher. So I had these, like, 12 people in front of me, and I'm like, we're going to sing this, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then they would do it, and I'm like, yes, okay, so here we go. And then I can't remember
cool,
what it would
dude.
be. So I'm like, I think what I did is I had the headphones on.
So they didn't have click or anything.
They didn't have anything.
You're just like sing.
Yeah, so I'm basically
geez.
doing like the arm movements of like a conductor. So I'm like, this is how we're gonna do it. So then as soon as it would start, I would start singing. They would sing along with me of what we practiced to like my tempo that I'm singing it, and we would hit record.
Jeez.
And so Sinner Songbook, like all those like any background vocals, I think there's like 4 songs that have like gang vocals in them. Yeah, that was all like fans and stuff that
That's
decided
cool.
to stop by the studio. I thought that was rad.
That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, nobody ever, yeah. So, and here's the thing. Nobody ever, while I recorded, called me out on stuff or like pushed me. But writing, Steve Taylor was all over me because that was
So jealous.
that was his, you know, that was his niche. You know what I mean?
Steve Taylor just look at my lyrics
Yeah.
just to be
I remember going.
just to be like, dude, you could do better. Anything,
Yes.
like just any. If he just wrote one word, like sucks.
Yeah.
I'm like, thanks, Steve. I'll work on it.
I remember going to Tim Tabor. This is the honest to God truth. I remember going to Tim Tabor and going, Tim, you got to get Steve off my back. Like, he's like relentless on my lyrics. And Tim Tabor's like looking at me like, yeah, it's Steve Taylor. He's pushing you to be better. And I'm like this like 20-some-year-old kid that like thinks I know everything, and everybody over the age of 25 is out of touch. I mean, I respected Steve Taylor and so I mean, I love the guy, absolutely love the guy. But I was young and dumb, and like I didn't get it back then.
and
so
it's
I could
hard. It made it
Yeah.
worse. Like
Yeah.
you're like, this is done.
Yeah.
I like it. And then here's Steve coming behind you, being like,
you could do this better.
yeah.
And so the song that I remember him just busting my balls about is Paradise. So we do this song called Paradise.
It's a good song.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't like the music to it. Like listening back to it, like what I had in my head, and I've talked about this before. I had stuff in my head that like I would like write lyrics, and then I'd come to the guys and say, "This is what I have," and I would sing the lyrics to them. And then what I have in my head and what they played, I never felt like it was my place to say, "No, don't play it like that. Play it like this." I never felt that way until later, when Soundtrack came around and when Sinner Songbook, and I was just like, at that point, I'm just like a crotchety old man, and I hate everybody, you know, that's not, you know, I just hate everyone. If you're a human being, I don't like you. And so at that point, I was like, no, like that's not how I want this to sound. And especially because the Sinners, I started coming out of my shell more, I would say, on Soundtrack to a Revolution. by the time Sinner's Songbook came around, because that was going to be a project of mine, like that Bulldog Spirit.
Yeah.
Because that was going to be that, at that point, I was like, no, this is my song. And I have, 6 albums of give and take. I have 6 albums of compromising.
And you regret it
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
That's not
And-
what I wanted.
Yeah, and I have 6
you have to
albums
sleep
that
with
I
it.
don't listen to because that's not what I envisioned.
Mm-hmm.
And when I hear those songs, I'm like, it should have been done like this. It should have been done like that. So Sinner's Songbook, I was like, I don't care. I'm not compromising. If these guys are mad at me, fine. They're mad at me. They're,
It's
it
not
is-
their part.
Yeah, it is what
They'd
it is.
be
Like,
mad at you for doing your bass lick that way.
yeah, and so I went
Playing
into
with the
it.
wrong pick or whatever.
Yeah, like I went into it thinking it like that, and God bless those guys. Nobody ever gave me pushback. Nobody was like, "Who are you?" Like, "What instrument do you play?" Like, nobody did that. If I
Yeah.
went in and I was like, I don't want it to sound like that." And mind you, it wasn't in the studio that was happening. It was like, as you're working through the song. I'm
Yeah.
just like, nope. Like, guitar's got to be dirtier. Like, this isn't going to be this. I want it to be Destruction by Definition. Like, I want it to be Suicide Machine sounding. I want this. And the guys, so all this stuff that I was scared for like all these years to like, go in front of the guys and actually try and get my point across instead of being like, no, that sounds good.
They're fine with it.
Yeah, they were fine with it. Like nobody said boo.
That
Nobody
sounds
said it was
good, though.
moot. Yes.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy both Soundtrack and Sinner's Songbook. I really enjoy that stuff. But nobody ever, so Steve Taylor, so Paradise, back to that. That's where we got sidetracked. So Paradise, what the song is supposed to be about is like, I'm supposed to be painting the picture of the most perfect day. Like the most perfect day you can have.
Mm-hmm.
And then the chorus is kind of like, even on the greatest day, like heaven is still going to be greater. Like, our best day on earth is the worst day in heaven. And our worst day in heaven is better than our best day on earth. And Steve Taylor was like, you can do better. And I was like, what? And he was like, you can do better. Like, you can paint this picture better than these lyrics. He's like, I'm reading this. I understand what you're trying to say, but you can go so much further.
Yeah.
You can go so much further. And so I'm like, okay. So I like change a couple lyrics, and he's like, no. You can do better. He's like, think of it. Go overboard. Like it's a comedy. Like, think of just completely. Yeah, you got like a bee buzzing around your ear. Like, he's like, just completely go overboard. And he's like, even things that you can't think of, like, a dolphin. Like, that was like one of the things he said. He's like, think about like you just walking down the street and you look out into the lake and a dolphin is jumping through. Like, everything that people want to experience in life, put into this song. Like, the most perfect day, birds landing on your fingers, dolphins waving their tails at you. Just everything that is so crazy that would just, it wouldn't be real. It would be so fake over the top. And I was like, like, what? And so I remember telling Tim Tabor, like, dude, you got to get Steve Taylor off my back.
He's like, go fuck yourself.
Exactly. In short,
Yeah.
that is exactly what Tim Tabor said. And you know what I did? I screwed around and just kind of ignored it until the deadline was passed. Like, it was time to record the song, and I just, like, I was, like, embarrassed and, like, avoided Steve Taylor for a good, like, 2 weeks. And then we recorded the song, and I just recorded the lyrics that I had. I mean, I had changed a little bit of it, but I didn't do what he told me. And then it's like nowadays, I'm like that idiot kid that, you compare it to like Wayne Gretzky, like giving you Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, Barry Sanders, giving you advice that can just make your career better. And I mean, if there was a Christian Music Hall of Fame, I mean, Steve Taylor is the first class inductee, right? I mean, he's one of the first 3 people that would be inducted into the Christian Music Hall of Fame.
If we were choosing, I think the problem, if there is a Christian Music Hall of Fame, it's going to be a bunch of cheese dicks. And they're going to be like, Number one, the Gaithers.
You know what? You might be right.
You know, like
Right. You might be right.
fine. I would put the Gaithers in there. I'd
So
put the Carter
let's go
family.
the non-traditional. So the wing, the like alternative
Yeah,
wing.
but they're gonna be
of it.
like the Newsboys for sure. I love the Newsboys. And,
DC
like, you
talk.
know what you love about the Newsboys is what Steve Taylor did for the Newsboys.
Exactly. Shine.
Yeah.
Let them wonder what you got.
Like
Let 'em wish that
they were
were
just like
none.
some shitty Australian band, like some youth group band, and Steve Taylor was like, "I think I can work with this."
Yeah.
And taught them how to be a band.
Yes. And so what they were, we could have been, but I was like, like nah. So I'm an idiot. Like I had King Solomon's wisdom in music form, in human form, to be able to guide me through music, and I was just like, nah, no thanks. And so yeah, it was a debacle there. So yeah, but nobody ever helped me with lyrics. Obviously, you can tell from my lyrics. But then it wasn't until I was older. And the other thing I always did when I wrote, maybe this is another day for like when we're talking about writing, but we can always touch on it. But when I wrote when I was a teenager, I just wrote to write. Like I didn't know there was a Christian scene. I didn't know anything. So I was just trying to write songs. And then once you get into it and your career is on the line, I would censor myself, you know? I'm like, well, I want to say this, but how can I say this and still have it on the album and still not get ostracized from the Christian market, you know?
Yeah.
And so, like, I would censor my lyrics or I would, like, tone them down. Whereas now, I mean, obviously this podcast shows that, you know, I don't really care what other people think too much, but like writing music now, I don't censor myself anymore. And I did back then. And I think when I stopped censoring myself, again, Soundtrack to a Revolution, Sinner Songbook, this is what I wanted to say. I didn't have a record label that was like, no, you can't say that, or that song can't be on the album because you know,
You
the bad
censor
taste.
yourself.
Yeah, like you would end up censoring. I would end up censoring myself. So now from Soundtrack and you know, Sinner's Songbook and stuff like that, I didn't do it. I was like, this is what I want to get across. This is what I want to say. And so I go through and like I write a song. The only place I do censor myself is like when it comes to swearing. So when I would like write a song, I would write the F-bombs in there. I would write everything.
You would?
I would. So I would write like when I first write a song from Soundtrack and Sinner Songbook, this is what I want to say. And I just get it out raw. And so there's F-bombs, there's all that stuff in there. And then you go back and you're like, okay, well, my kids are going to listen to this. And that's the thing. Like, I don't care about people. Like, I don't care about what people think about me. I care about like what my family and those closest to me. And so like, I know my kids at their age, if they were 30 years old listening to me and I might swear on a song, that's one thing, but they're not 30.
Yeah.
And so if I'm putting stuff out right now while they're teenagers or they were, you know, in elementary school, like they're going to listen to that too. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that with them. And so they're the ones that I would like censor myself for. So then I would go back and I'm like, okay, so I'm dropping this F-bomb here. Like, what's a way that I can convey this line where I used an F-bomb where I wouldn't be using that?
Yeah.
So I would kind of self-censor as far as like swear words go and go back over those songs and try and do it. That's how I write now. And so like right now, that's how the writing is now. I got to get what I actually want to say out. And again, I haven't written a song in like 12 years, and this might be going in a different direction, but I haven't written a song in like 12 years. I've had no creation. I've had no inspiration to like get stuff down until as of late. Like as of late, there's like things in my life that all of a sudden I've found this, I could write 100 songs about this situation. And so I've like kind of found that again to where I like sit down and I think about this situation and I'm like, I have this I want to say.
Yeah.
And if I looked at this situation from point A, I can write 2 songs from point A. If I want to look at it from the other side of the coin, I can write 2 songs from that side of it. I can write 2 songs from the, and so I just like sit down every day and whatever point of view looking at this situation, I can write all sorts. And so it's like this new, like I
You have
found
a
like,
muse now.
yeah, I have a muse. I have my fountain of youth where I can kind of just knock through this stuff and just, I mean,
Man.
I think I sent you a text this week. I was like, hey, I think you need to be my new bandmate. Like I was half joking.
Yeah.
But when I say half joking, I only mean like I'm 5% joking.
All right. Well, I'm half in.
So I was like, yeah, we need to be like bandmates, finally do this Bulldog Spirit. And like, I at least want to do like one album and just like knock it out, because you did a song for me, like this first song that I've written in like 12 years. Like I sent you, this is like my rough thing. You took it and you like made like this amazing dish out of these like crappy ingredients that I gave you. I think you
mixed
did.
it.
Yeah, but you mixed it like great. You added all this stuff to it, and then you put background vocals into it. And the people out there, the way I recorded it, I think I touched on this again earlier, that I said that I was going to put it out, and then I said I wasn't because it was too personal. And so what I think I'm going to do is, I love the song, I love the chorus, I love everything. So what I think I'm going to do is, there's a few lines in this song that make it completely personal. I think I'm going to change those lines. And so I'll have it for my collection the way it was originally done. But I think for the public, I think I might change a few lines in it and then re-record those, and then have that as like a song that you guys can listen to. Because again, I'm proud of it. It's got a ton of rust as far as like,
It's a good song.
you could probably go, I mean, you could go, it's not gonna be something that's played on the radio. I don't necessarily know it's something that like somebody driving in their car is like, I want to jam out to this song. Although my kids did. My kids listened to it and they were like, Dad, that's like the summer. My youngest
You need
said,
the summer jam. You got to get this going. It's
yeah.
already June 5th.
yeah, my daughter was like, yeah, Dad, that chorus is like a summer jam song. Like you could drive and like jam out to it. She's like, I love it.
I just ruined our podcast by saying the date. Is it June 5th?
Today is June 5th.
Yeah, because this will come out in like a month.
No, this is going to be some extra stuff, right? Aren't we doing
Okay.
that?
I don't know what we're doing.
All right.
This is great, though.
Yeah. Do you want to go out on the boat?
Yeah.
All right. Let's hit stop. Let's go out on the boat.
Joey Reese and Big Little Top.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're just kicking this off right away because we have so much stuff to get into.
Oh, my gosh.
And I want to start right off by saying, are you drinking or stinking anything? Oh, you are. What do you got?
Failure puddle.
I went back to the Ultra Boilermaker.
That's good. You said you were going to hold off till June 17th, and I'm so glad you cut it off by a
know.
month.
I know this is what I've stopped a lot. So I just did it for today. And then there's one person in my life that if they say, hey, you want to go grab drinks? I'll be like, yep. And other
Yeah.
than that, it's this and it's that and nothing else.
That's like me
and-
with vehicular homicide.
Yeah.
And it's like,
no, I
quit.
totally see how that plays into it.
Straight up, I don't want to kill any more people with
No more.
with my
No
big
more.
rig. No.
Yeah, no more. Why should you?
No.
It's stupid. It's stupid
Except
to
Emilio
use
Estevez.
right. Because damn him as the coach of the Mighty Ducks.
Jeez. Seriously, the narcissism on that guy. I'm wound
the
up. I don't know what's
sack.
wrong with me.
The
The
sack of lead
on that
nuts
person. Gee,
that
man,
Emilio
Christmas.
Estevez must have
You know, like,
is
look,
astonishing.
my dad's Charlie Sheen. I'm not gonna ride around on those. Not Charlie Sheen, Martin Sheen.
Yeah. Might as well be Charlie.
Might as well. But he
No.
doesn't ride on his coattails. No, he's gonna make it on his own. Emilio Estevez.
Hey, here's the thing. I will have Emilio Estevez's back till the day I die because of one movie, Young Guns.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Young Guns Part 2, but Young Guns.
Young Guns was the first rated R movie I think I ever
Oh,
saw.
jeez.
And I loved it. Like my parents were like, yeah, let them watch it. And there was just swearing and tons of violence and everything like that. And for whatever reason, they never said two words to me. I was just allowed to watch it on VHS over and over. And
Yeah.
I loved it.
They just let you watch it over and over. I don't even know what it's like. What is it like to watch a rated R movie?
It's a little cheeky. It gets your heart beating a little bit.
Okay.
And then there's parts of it where you think to yourself, if I did that, that would be naughty.
Huh.
Yeah. And then there's
All right.
parts where they might show like tasteful side boob or boob. And then you're like, yeah, I like rated R movies.
Okay. They show people's no squares.
Right. Hey,
And they
I
say
got-
no words.
listen, I got the greatest thing for our listeners and for you. My daughter taught me this because
I'm ready.
she had heard me say something about the no place. And she goes, Dad, there's a great limerick. It goes, hey, don't touch me there. This is my no square. And then you make the square around your body parts that should not be touched. Stop. Don't touch me there. This is my no square.
Can
Yeah.
it be a rhombus or a parallelogram? I guess it wouldn't really.
I don't
fit
think
the,
so.
no,
No, I
there's
don't think
rhyme,
so.
Rhyme for that. Hey,
don't think so.
touch me
Nope.
in my thrombus. Here is my no rhombus. No, it only works if you have some sort of
Right.
blood clot
Stop.
in the area that
Stop.
you don't want people
Don't
to touch.
touch me.
Don't do it.
Yes. Or trapezoid. Is there something we
Yeah,
could rhyme with trapezoid? Stop. Don't touch me, Domino's Pizza Noid. This is
Yes.
my no trapezoid.
Perfect.
And that just
Thank
flows off the tongue. That just rolls off the tongue.
you. It really
Speaking
does.
of rolling off the tongue, you almost cut your thumb off.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to
think
get
that's why
into.
I'm all hepped up on adrenaline right now, and that's what's happening.
So talk to us about how you almost cut your thumb off. Now, mind you, I'm going to post that picture that you sent me on our
right.
Instagram. But explain to us how this happened, and then I'm going to shame you.
Joe, the first order of business is what rhymes with trapezoid, because I just looked it up on rhymezone.com, which I'm going to
Okay.
let you in on a secret. I'm not a very good lyricist, and I have to look on rhymezone.com a lot.
There's
just,
nothing wrong with that. We've
open.
all been there. Yep.
The first rhyme it only has near rhymes.
Okay.
This is the first rhyme it has capitate and trapezoids. That's neither
Wait,
one.
decapitate?
Just capitate, like to capitate.
To put a
no
head
D.
on something.
Yeah, that sounds like something.
So if
only the
something is
Lord can do.
headless, so if something is headless, you capitate them by putting a head on it.
Yeah, like either you're a really, really gifted surgeon or you're Jesus. So next
man.
is
My
spray
boyfriend,
liquid.
my boyfriend, he got capitated in 1984.
It was a miracle.
It was
And
it was amazing. He was like a
it
Lego
was.
person.
Yeah. The other rhymes are worse. It's like spray liquid, name is mud, opaque liquid, opaque.
And
None of
these are
rhyme.
rhymes with trapezoid.
Yeah, so
I think
there goes that
Rhyme
theory
Zone.
of trapezoid or rhombus.
I think Rhyme Zone got hacked.
Oh, maybe. There are times, and I don't want to brag. There are times when
times like these we learn to live again.
yes.
And it's
There-
times like the I was drinking prior to starting this, so I'm just saying I'm tuned up,
Perfect.
baby. I'm tuned up.
Tuned up. These are the rhymes with rhombus, bombus. And
What about Kurt
strombus.
Rambis? What about Kurt
Thrombus?
Rambis, who used to
No.
play for the LA Lakers?
It says Columbus, but you would really have to be like, have you ever been to Columbus, Ohio? You ever gone down to
Don't
Ohio
touch
and
me
gone
in my
to
no
Columbus?
rhombus.
Don't touch my rhombus. I'm going to Columbus. You and your brother
That does
Jeffrey
work.
go off to Davenport. You just have to talk like that.
That's how you used to say that Leslie used to talk.
Leslie, get off to Davenport. No, Leslie. So there's like a
You used to always do this. You used to always say this.
Adam.
Hey, Adam, get out of the bathroom. I got to take
get
a
out of
crap.
the bathroom. There's like a certain Lake Erie accent that goes from like Erie. It goes from like Buffalo to Detroit, and it is that when you say Adam, you go
Uh-huh.
Adam, Adam,
EA.
Adam. Eadam.
Eaadam. Eadam.
Eadam. Get out of that
Adam.
Davenport.
Eadam, get out of the bathroom. I got to take a crap. That's what you used to always
Your-
say to her.
yeah,
We
your
still
ex-wife-
laugh about that.
She had it, man. However, you did not. And none of your
No.
bandmates. Every once in a while, I'd hear it. I almost said
Sang
every
Kim
once
had
in
a
while,
little
twice.
accent.
He did. It was
His was southern.
West Virginian. Is he from West
yeah.
Virginia?
It was like West Virginia via Seoul, South Korea. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yep. Sang
Um,
used to kill me. He moved to the United States when he was like 7 months old.
Are you kidding?
I'm dead serious.
No.
Yes. Like he was
He was
a
not around
toddler.
native speakers.
He was a toddler, but the thing is, he moved from Korea to Little Korea
Uh-huh.
in outside of Chicago.
Uh-huh.
So he didn't have to learn English. Like the school he went to was a Korean school.
Really?
The shops, the neighborhood that he lived in was Korean. The
Yep.
church that he went to was Korean. And so he like didn't so it was hilarious. Like so when I first met him, when he like joined the Insiders and I like met him, and because he was friends with other guys in the Insiders, that's how Sang got in. And I was like, how long have you been living in the United how long have you been living in the United States? Like 3
not
years.
cool.
And he was like, at the time he was probably 22. He's like,
Yeah.
I've been here for like 21 years. And I was like, I was like,
he
what?
he really did have a problem with articles, like using definite articles. He wouldn't say the or a, and he kept messing up people's gender, which is perfect for these days. And times.
Yeah, exactly. He was ahead of his time. The other thing that the other thing
Everybody
that
was
he did,
he.
yeah,
Yeah.
The other thing that he did was he used the Korean way of talking about plurals.
Uh-huh.
So he wouldn't say like I have shoes, like I need to grab my shoes. He would say like I have 2 shoe.
Uh-huh.
Because what it is a shoe. And in Korea, they say that they put the number before what it is. So he would always be like, I have 2 shoe. I wouldn't, he wouldn't say I have 2 shoes. I have 2 hamburger. I have 2, whatever it is, you fill it in, 2 shirt. But they don't add S's because they've already put the plural number in front of it. And that always killed me. I found that fascinating with the way that he would take his career. Oh, there it is. Did
It's
you
still
stitch it?
bleeding. No, I do have the ability to stitch it. I even have lidocaine. I could give myself a shot.
I have
I don't think I'm going to yet.
I have in my Amazon cart right now a practice thing for practicing doing stitches, because that is one thing that I want to learn how to do is do stitches.
I wonder if it's sterile.
But what do you mean?
Well, because so if they can't sell it on Amazon if it's supposedly sterile.
No, this is like a fake skin pad that has all these like different shapes of cuts, and then you can practice doing sutures.
Uh-huh.
And then you buy the actual sutures separately and then do that on some unwilling mook that happened to gash themselves open.
That's way cheaper than a medical license.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So that's what I was going to do. So I've been wanting since COVID, like that was my goal during COVID, is I was going to learn how to do stitches, and I didn't. And then last week, my niece was cutting an apple using an apple cutter that I think is supposed to be safe so you don't cut yourself, and she about took her finger off.
Oh,
and
jeez.
probably needed stitches, and I could have jumped in there and saved the day, but nope, I didn't learn how to do it.
Well, I can tell you, I've given stitches. It is not in my scope of practice as a nurse, but when I worked in the ICU, they would do, like doctors would open up stuff, or there'd be kits for something, and they'd just be like, not use it all. So I'd be like, well, I'll put that downstairs just in case the apocalypse happens. And then,
Right.
so I had this downstairs, and I was just like, mostly it just made me kind of feel cool. Like, I've got this stuff. I could do stitches, if society breaks down. But my wife, one Thanksgiving, this had to be like 10 years ago, she cut the living crap out of her. She cut the Dickens out of her thumb.
Oh, the Charles Dickens.
Charles Dickens right out. And so she's bleeding, and I'm like,
microphone.
yeah. So she puts, I'm like, put pressure on it, squeezing it for about an hour, and it was still bleeding.
That's what she said. Ha 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 ha. I don't know, dude. It's the Jameson talking. I'm sorry.
No!
Continue.
It's just that's comedic gold, Joe. So she was like, what am I gonna do? And I'm trying to tell her, you got to go to the emergency room. She didn't want to because her
You're
family's
like, first you have to
over.
pick your finger up and put it on
Yeah.
ice, and
Yeah,
then you
have
have
you
to go to the
tried that?
emergency room.
Honey, I'm not picking that up. It's gross. You do it. You got an extra hand.
Gross. That is
You-
gross.
You're not using that other hand. that
Yeah.
You didn't cut off your opposable thumb. Get in
Yeah.
there.
Get
So
right in there with it.
So I'm like, you got to go to the emergency room. And she's like, I won't. I'm not going to. I don't want to ruin Thanksgiving. And then I'm trying to scare the Dickens out of her. The B. Jesus.
Charles Dickens.
The Charles Dickens. And I say, well, then I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to get that suture kit and I'm going
The
to
kit.
sew it up for you. I'm going to get the
Yeah.
old kit.
Yeah. What was her reply to that?
She just turns right to me, dead in the face, and just goes, do it. And I was like,
I like where this is going.
come on, dude. So I had lidocaine. So I injected around it with lidocaine. And then
It's very
what I
Michael
had
Jackson's
for, this
doctor
is,
of you.
Yeah. Yeah, I also had some propofol. I was like, drink this. It'll help you go sleepy time.
Yeah. See ya.
Helps you forget touching those
Bye.
boys.
Yeah. I'll see you when
I'm
you're
talking about-
60. Bye.
Hey, guys. I'm talking about my wife touching boys, not Michael Jackson.
Ooh.
Okay,
Ooh.
don't write the
Yikes.
ASPCA. So anyway,
Yikes.
don't call CPA. Anyway,
Don't call a CPA. Do not get your taxes
Do
done this
not.
week, people. Should have got them done last week.
it was tax season last week.
Let's just not talk about it. Continue.
Yeah, so I injected it, and then what I had for a suture kit, though, this is what's messed up. It was for chest sutures. It was like for
Was
putting
a
in
jump rope.
It was not like the thin.
You had a hat
sutures that
pin
people are
and a
like-
jump rope.
Yeah, it was not the
I had a
thin ones.
Nintendo
It's like-
controller and a peach.
like dental floss. You're like, that would be
Yeah.
thick. Going, if I got sutures made out of dental floss, that would hurt and it would be thick. Well,
But it
this
would be
was
minty or cinnamony.
this was twice as thick as
Oh.
that because it was
So
for
it was
putting in
like a
chest tube.
shoelace. So it was
Yeah,
like
it was
a
like a
shoelace.
Oh.
Jeez.
And she took it like a champ, and it quit bleeding, and then it's fine. She's got a good scar.
Yeah, that's what binds marriages together, a shoddy surgery.
I don't
Shoddy
know if
home
that's true.
surgery. Survey says bing 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 bing. The number one thing Americans say contributes to a fantastic marriage is home surgery.
Well, that's probably why it's on the rocks right now. Is because I need to do some more surgery.
Yeah.
She's
Like, does she have an
does need her
ingrown toenail
gallbladder
you
out.
can Oh, she needs it out?
Yeah. That could
Isn't
be
that just like a little incision, and then you just stick the shop vac in there and just
right?
just
As
suck
long
that
as you
thing
have
out.
the equipment, it's super easy.
It seems
So
simple
you go
enough.
through anybody's umbilicus.
I don't know what that is. Would that be the
I
belly
don't
button?
either. Yes,
I think that's a belly button. Dude,
Yeah.
my belly button, I don't know if I ever told people. I don't think people on
Well, this is Wait,
on here have heard this story.
this is the place. This is where you talk about weird things about.
Yeah, this
your
is
body.
where we offer up all our HIPAA secrets
Let's
to let the people know. Well,
We know
here's
about Paul
something.
Spinas.
Yeah,
Let's hear about the rest.
Paul Sminas, wiener farts.
Wiener farts.
Another thing that happened to me. This was I just turned 44, so it was my 40th, right before my 40th birthday, and I was dating Molly.
Uh-huh.
And we weren't married yet, and I had been feeling just not well, and I'm gonna say I was not feeling well for like 5 years, and I know that sounds weird,
Oh.
but I just didn't feel right, and I just figured that's what getting old was, and I
Yeah.
just didn't feel right. My digestive system wasn't right. Things started coming to a head, and I just, honest to God, like a year or two went by where I was just every single day I just felt like garbage. But I thought that's what getting old was. And mind you, I'm 36 at the time, 37, 38, 39.
That is what getting old is like. You feel like
Yes.
garbage.
Yes, and then the number
in that-
increases.
In that way, you are correct. Look at this, dude. It's
Dear
still
Lord.
hanging. I gotta give myself stitches.
Yeah, you do. Or just crazy glue that sucker. Skateboarder
Yeah.
trick. Just pack it.
Hey, so here's
I have coagulating gauze. I don't know if that helps you.
No, I have like the surgical Dermabond that I stole from the place I used to work at. It's been 6 years.
Allegedly.
Allegedly stole. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, allegedly. Statute of
Yeah, where
limitations, I'm
it's
sure, is
Statute.
gone on that.
I don't think Virginia has that.
For more shows like this one, visit rockcandyrecordings.com.